morning, everybody. Today we have a sharing session, and I'm gonna talk about a very big topic that a lot of you guys have really thought about. It will be ideas, big ideas. So, going back in time again, where ideas came from, or this original word came from, it came from the Greeks. So Greeks was one of the first people who actually, back in our days, in the olden times, how did idea come about? It originated from the Greek, and it's a thought of pretty much thinking of creating something that the Greeks eventually call it idea. What I'm saying might be a bit abstract today, but try to think a little bit deeper. So when the world was created, pretty much nothing had a name. So idea was born, the name idea was born in Greece, by the Greeks. So moving forward, it's again, when we talk about ideas, we're gonna highlight a few agendas today. It's pretty much what I want to start off with is the mindset, perception, beliefs, and then where to start, how do you move forward, and eventually executing it. So ideas is a very, very big word itself, but ideas can actually create a revolution in how people think and behave in the world. We move on to look at tech startup itself. Some of the greats will be actually Steve Jobs, creating a difference in terms of creating Apple. But think about it again. What he's doing, it's no different. Way before Apple evolved, there is already IBM, right? So that's a thought. Then you came on another two person that started to question if the world needed another search engine, and then you have Google. So if you really think about it, they've done almost nothing, just make it better and make it different. Right, that's the first basis part. Eventually my question to you guys itself, it's a very, very big topic. It's good example would be actually Robin Hood. Is he a criminal or a vigilante? Some people would argue that he's a vigilante, but in our today's context itself, he will be a criminal, right? So the next question is this normal or is this disgusting? These are insects. People was like, this is disgusting, I will never eat that. But some people in different part of the world find it delicious. Find it delicious and take it as a delicacy. So what I'm trying to actually highlight here is pretty much your mindset. Okay, what is wrong and what is right. It's in a world itself. It depends on which side of you actually sits and how you actually see things. The problem with humans today is from day one, the moment we step into this world, we are programmed to think systematically in a structured way. That is from day one. Day one, the first person you see is probably your parents, and they start teaching you things that you wouldn't even have clue where the basis derive from, right? And then who defines wrong or right? Okay, the bottom line, what I'm trying to highlight is just the way you see things and the perception of how you see things. Now, laws are created just to keep safe of majority, but then again, laws are not exactly right if you can argue to that. Humans throughout the evolution of centuries and different eras, things have evolved, but things have evolved so fast that sometimes nobody stop and question, why is a cat really called a cat? Why is a spoon called a spoon? Why is a spoon related to a fork? The problem is it's a philosophy. When you start thinking of things, you start to associate with things that are pretty much very similar, and you start classifying them as one. when you actually start doing that, you fail to actually discover the real potential of that particular object or subject itself. Because right from day one, your mindset is, oh, this is food. Apart from food, can you think that this could be used as something else? Let's just talk about very simple elements like oil. People think it's oil as fuel, straight up. But oil could be used for other things like creating butter and stuff like that. So again, today what I'm trying to encourage you guys to do is trying to step back and actually think about things and actually question yourself things. People say A, does it equals to A? Rather than just accepting it wholeheartedly, take a step back and say, hey, maybe this can be think differently, or this might not actually relate to A, kind of thing. Now again, it comes back to human mind itself, how we work and how we think. It's about understanding yourself better and understanding humans better in terms of the behavior and how their thought flows would actually help you to kind of unlock the true potential of really creating big ideas itself. Humans work in a few factors, which is one of them is fear and greed. Okay, why do we go to work? We fear that we do not have money to actually feed my family. Why do I go to work? I basically just want to earn more money. Greed. Alright? And there are a few fundamentals in humans' life that we are always very, very concerned subconsciously. If any of your life threatens things like food, your health, which is exercise, and safety, you will defend it. That's just how human works. So if you really want to do a big idea itself and a business that would have a lot of people looking at your product itself, work on these three, you should make it. You sell food, trust me, you will survive. Sell food that people like, things like commodities, like if imagine you're a sugar maker, imagine you're a rice maker, coffee beans maker. Okay, you kind of safe to say that there will always be a need, there will always be a demand. Then the clear understanding of needs and wants. A lot of people do not kind of think a little bit deeper, like is this a good to have or is this a real need? If you are in the category of need, then you pretty much control the economy in terms of saying I can name a price. Okay, but you're in the category of want, which is maybe good to have. I got a bicycle, but riding a bike it's good to have. I've got a car, but driving a Lamborghini it's good to have, kind of thing. Then you're not so much into the money per se. You're more into niche market. Now, how do you move on to actually start thinking of big ideas itself? Would be actually first thing itself, observe and watch if things are broken or can it be better. If some of you have interacted with me a little bit, know how I can kind of see how I think very, very quickly. I see when the moment I'm out there, when I'm eating, I see there's a broken gap. I should really think of the craziest idea. Don't be afraid to think. Thinking is free. Think of the craziest idea, write it down, talk to people about it. People might think that you're a bit mad, but you never know, it might happen. Way in the days, people think of cars being, cars flying, cars, being automated. You don't even need a driver, and back in those days, people already thought about this, and now it's kind of happening because technology has kind of helped us to make us closer to realizing this dream. So, my advice to you guys is, just write and see what's broken, and then try to, out of your own creativity, think of a solution to try to fix that problem. It might be the craziest shit that you ever think about, but again, there's no wrong or right because it's your own perception. Eventually it's moving forward how you're going to pursue to make this so-called dream or thought a reality and drawing the dots together. So things to do this is, again, I've just highlighted, list down or draw the idea. If you're an artist, draw. It would sound damn stupid in the first time, but it would kind of change and and the more you think about it, the better you kind of fine tune it. Your idea would slowly kind of evolve. One of the craziest ideas is, would you think of robots in the future being as a servant in your house? It might be possible. Okay, use tools like, ideas come very fast and they go off very fast. You don't record it. So what I would suggest would be actually using your daily things like phone, iPad, notebook to kind of document it down, and then leave it somewhere. If the thought still comes back into your mind, then kind of revisit it again. If the thought just don't hit your mind again, then forget about it. Trash it. It's free. It's just a thinking. So no harm doing that. Some apps that work for me would be actually Evernote, and I use Notepad a lot. So Evernote is typically almost with me anywhere in my iPad and things like that. Occasionally when I take a bus to work, that's my so-called time. Think of stupid things. I'm not in front of my computer. I don't even switch on my email. Then I start observing things and looking around, daily life, and see things that are broken. That's just my weird habit. Things that, like, in Singapore, taking the public transport can be quite a hassle. It's always congested during a certain peak hours. I will crack my head around it, like, how do I come up with my own solution to solve this problem? So I always look for problems, and then I will go after the problems. Don't be afraid of problems. A lot of us have been programmed to look at problem as wow. Okay, but I think the better way is to actually embrace and approach the problem in a nice way. Think of it as a challenge, and then if you definitely can crack it, trust me, someone will pay you for it. So now you have an idea. Okay, eventually the consideration is, an idea is good, but how would an idea become a business itself? Then you got to slightly think a little bit deeper. This is what we call the value cycle, value triangle. Okay, when you think of your idea itself, start thinking a little bit in terms of, how are you actually solving the problem from human per se? Are you solving from the time factor? Are you solving from the quality factor or the price factor? So where to focus first? So I give you example itself. Google is a search engine. The world already has a search engine. Why is there a need for another search engine? Pretty much is they're tackling from value cycle of quality. Because back then the search engine searched on the surface, but they do deep linking, That's why their results are more accurate. So they're tackling from the quality side of things. Time. Let me try to give you an example of time in terms of technology itself. So time. One of the best example would be emails. Okay, back in our olden days itself, we used to communicate using fax machine and snail mail, which we call it today. But email kind of eliminates the time factor by having people to receive almost instantaneously a single message. WeChat, SMS, WhatsApp are all in this factor. Costings. Certain technology has kind of brought down the costings of back in the previous days would be actually books. Books. We used to search for information, going to the library and books, and purchasing of books is very expensive. But today, information are easily available. Sometimes it doesn't even cost you a cent, or just probably you buy an ebook off the internet. It's so cheap. So think of your idea and if you really want to pursue the idea for a business itself, think about the value cycle and where would your idea kind of fit. Alright. So the last few part will be actually execution itself. Really research and think of how you draw the dots. So a lot of things start off with just a spark, which is an idea. You will not be surprised that some of your ideas have been thought by other people's head or other people's brain before. So most ideas that come out eventually, it's not something new. The question mark is, how do you link the dots together to kind of execute it for yourself? So pretty much do a lot of research, see have people tested this before, have scientists tried to tackle this before, why did they fail, why did they succeed, learn from all this, and that's the best way to kind of pursue your idea. And then eventually, trust me, at a certain point you would either give up or continue and pursue. So what I have in my laptop itself, I have a folder that I scribble and write crazy stuff. Majority of it is around travel, but I have like at least 10 ongoing stuff inside. Sometimes subconsciously when I surf the net, I see something relating to one of the idea that kind of shelved it for many months already. I'll just pull it and put it there, and then sometimes I kind of revisit again. So that's how I keep track and actually evolve ideas itself. So my advice to you guys, if you guys really want to think about bringing an idea into a business itself, some of the books to kind of read is, we have them in the library, mini library will be the Startup Manual and Business Generation Model. So it kind of help you to build your business model itself. So the last thing that I would like to finish off is, if you ever run out of idea, try getting a piece of paper and start drawing. You come up with stupid shit. That's how some artists kind of get ideas or inspiration. So my key takeaway for you guys would be actually one is to start really questioning and thinking about in terms of your perception of things. Are you too close-minded or too narrow-minded by people telling you A means A, B means B, or are you a person that actually kind of do your own evaluation before when people feed you an information and kind of digest it? Try to think, step out of the box and think a little bit deeper. Things are used this way, can it be used something else? It's just like telling you a very clear example. Every time I come here, I always have a problem opening up my beer bottle. It's a true story. We don't have a can opener here. Typical people will use a can opener, right? But what do I result using? I started resulting to use a spoon to kind of pry open my bottle. Eventually, that was not the best solution. I dumped it away. Okay, it kind of hurt my finger. And the best method so far I've found is using the doorknob, the door latch to kind of help me to pry open my can. So you see, again, if you keep thinking that I need a can opener to open my bottle, you're not going to get the bottle open because you don't have a can opener in such a situation. But in such a situation, you can start thinking out of the box and leverage what you have around you. You then kind of unleash the full potential of things that are already there but can be used for something else. A spoon, most people will only think that it's used to eat, but nobody will kind of think of that as a can opener. A door, what you call the door latch, the gap, it's always a door latch. Nobody will kind of think of it as a best leverage for can opener. If you don't try, you don't start to look around you and start to be a bit more observant, you will not discover such potential. So that's the end of what I would like to highlight. It's a very big topic. I shall not go too deep into it. Any questions? I think you guys are my blog right now already.
I always have a question.
If I have idea,
Why are you talking like Thai?
it must if we doing by ourselves or we are with partner with just by like co-founder with same idea, or we present the idea what I'm thinking. So must find the other partner who thinking same or interested on idea.
Your question is,
Find co-founder or not?
do you have to find co-founder at your idea stage? No. My question to you is, my answer to you is no. An idea is just an idea until it if your idea can kind of fit in one of the value triangle, then it might be a business. Okay? So an idea is just a thought, you know, it's almost close to nothing. But if you try to transit your idea into a business itself, you really have to think about honestly, where does your idea fit? You know, you're fitting in terms of time, you're fitting in terms of cost, it's fitting in terms of quality. What problems of this value cycle are you actually addressing to users or potential customers? If you can kind of really clearly touch your heart and say, hey, I'm fitting in this part of the value triangle, then yes, you have a business. Then yes, you might want to consider looking for co-founders or partners that might be as crazy and interested as you. So an idea is still a very, very infant stage. You know, don't restrict yourself to thinking about it.
So finding the user base first, user group is the basic.
Conceptualize the idea.
You need to conceptualize your idea first. Think about which part of it does it fit. First question is, if it fits, let's say time, I save people time, right? Then think about things like, okay, how would my idea save people time? List down the ways of you actually physically saving the time. Okay. Then if you have a solution or small MVP to kind of test it out before you actually start to look for co-founders and start to really turn this as a business. A lot of people in Jogja have a lot of crazy ideas, but sometimes certain ideas is not, you know, marketable or able to commercialize. I give an example. Last night one guy wanted to do Foursquare. I was like, you know, Foursquare already ran out of business. They started pivoting, looking for revenue source. So ideas are really, really cheap. You know, and don't be afraid that people will copy your idea, because idea is still at an infant stage. You know, myself itself, you can ask me what kind of ideas I have, I can tell you all of them, like 101 of them there. Why am I not afraid to actually share with people? Because the simple mindset is, if I share with more people and people kind of see it, then I might have something there. You know, if I keep it to myself and think that this is going to be the next multi-billion-dollar company or idea, then you're the dumbest fool on earth. Basically, you're not using your idea to kind of test it out. It's, again, if you want to turn your idea into a business, it's not about the idea itself. Okay, it's about execution. I named you an example. Okay, you see we've got Uber in the States. Okay, we've got Easy Taxi around here, Uber and stuff like that. All of them are the same. But eventually, who can execute the market fastest, who will win the game? Okay, we have other clones around, like, you know, we have coupons, you know, and stuff like that. Within Asia itself, we have Living Social, we have Ensogo and stuff like that. They are all clones, they are the same business model, but eventually, who can execute the business? You know, when your idea eventually turns into the business, it is no longer your baby anymore. It's about winning in terms of market share or revenue. It's a simple game. When you're into business, it's all about the money. It's a cruelty, but it's all about the money eventually. It's either I kill you in the business world, or you kill me in the business world. Alright? So, you know, back to Al's question again, you know, ideas, don't be so eager to rush to look for a co-founder yet until it's proven.
So it's easy for technical guys, which is we can make prototype first. So it will be something first.
Correct.
Then, so it's more like technical.
How would I suggest it's, if you build a prototype, you will spend time too, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you just create a wireframe and get out there and actually show people?
Just like,
I just draw a wireframe and, oh, this is how it's going to work, that is how it's going to work, that how it's going to work, and then what do you think of it? Ask people.
like design
If-
the first website.
Yeah, if you can, if we still have it, okay? If we still have it, Zini and I physically draw our own wireframe on paper. Do we still have the wireframe? You throw it away.
Yeah.
when we first started Ship Crates, we didn't have a designer. We physically used ruler and draw the wireframe. Okay, that's really down to the bare minimum, and then start to think around it and see how do we connect. So yeah, just start everywhere. But a lot. What I'm trying to say is a lot of ideas that come out from Asia itself. It's a lot of us are clones. Okay, we see what happens instead. I want to do it for Indonesia. I see what happens there. I want to do it for Indonesia. There's lacking of big crazy ideas because of how we are brought up in Asia. In Asia itself, we are a bit worse off. We are very, very conservative. We have got religion's influence that this is don't, this is yes, da 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 da. So when you have too much constraints around you in terms of on a daily basis, it kind of restricts how you think. You get what I'm trying to say, or is it too abstract? Okay. So what I'm saying is again, things in our daily life it's made structurally and forcing us to think structurally. Why don't you think of start questioning things like why is a chair a chair? It can be seated, I can use it this way, but is there other ways that I can use it? Can I sit sideways, can I sit the other way around, or can I use this for something else? That's the problem with humans itself. We are put in this framework of processes that we think like that. That's why there's always lack of creativity. You think of those really extreme people who think of crazy shit. In our human context world, we classify them as mad. But take a step back and think, that guy might not be mad. The guy might be very, very intelligent. It's just how we see him. He comes with long hair, never shower. You'll be surprised. No, serious. Not talking about you. but that's the context that I'm trying to put across. Some of these people behave like that, roam around like that because they see life differently and they see they see things differently. You can imagine the guy would just in Malibu shit the whole life, might not make much money, but so passionate about bikes, antique bikes. Why? Have you thought about it? Why before? We just take things for granted as humans. We just walk past and this is an uncle that sells antique bike. Maybe he likes bikes. There are people who think again. There are people who just refuse to change their Vespa to an automatic bike, even though technology has evolved. Why are these people thinking this way? Start questioning yourself, things like that, and you'll kind of uncover a lot more depth to what you just see. Any more questions?
If you talk about idea, it's always you will always get a lot of idea, but you cannot execute that all.
Correct.
Then how to choose the best idea? This is good to execute.
So your question is, if you have 1,001 ideas in your memory or your bank, how do you kind of prioritize what to execute? I think it comes back down to your research work. How confident are you to say that you would throw all your livelihood savings into that idea to build it? You get what I'm trying to say? It's not about me right now. It's about you itself. Have you done enough groundwork to find out how you're going to draw the dotted lines? Have you done enough homework to say that this is something really marketable and I've tested in the market? Do you even personally believe that it can work? To the extent that you would throw all your life savings in it, then it kind of works. Again, in terms of idea itself, there's no ranking which is the best or which is the worst. If you look at it on a context basis, it's which idea itself it's more, which idea itself is it's better execute at your level. You get what I'm trying to say? So I can share with you a little bit of Ship Crates. We are kind of pivoting our direction. we're not pivoting our vision. But the reason why we're pivoting our direction is because that option A, it's still doable, but it takes a much longer time to get to what we want. Okay? Option B, it's doable, but it's a faster route. Then the question comes back down to the drawing board is which will you pick? Alright? If you're racing against time, then speed is a major concern. Right? If you've got time and you've got money to burn, then I take the longer route. Right? So again, it's a matter of choice and prioritization rather than anything else. Are you guys totally mindfucked yet or what?
Probably you should have
Good so.
Probably some down.
If I want to make something, but we are no fucking money.
What? Money, okay?
So we are do bootstrapping, which is we can work what we can do. Like we can freelancing developing, or we can freelancing designing, or something like we can do make e-commerce shop to spend to spend the baby. Yeah.
To spend, to fun.
To fund the baby startup. Can do, or it's not more our power. It will be exhausting our power.
So you want to start two business. One is e-commerce. To get the money, to fund the idea. Is that right?
There is no wrong or right to the question or the methods that you use. It's a matter of what's important for you right now. I give you an example. So if I have enough money to make sure that I keep my stuff safe and getting paid on time, then why would I want to focus on the second thing? Right? So when I start doing that itself, then there's something that I should always truly value in my life, which is time. Time is the only thing that money cannot buy. Alright? So I'm much older than you guys, so I would, logically speaking, by default, I gotta run fast. I gotta run twice as hard as you guys because I don't have that time there. Okay, so if time is a factor itself, then why you are splitting your focus into two? How do you manage it? If money factor is out of the equation, yeah, time, do one or do both. Of course I will do one, then I can launch this faster. But if money comes into consideration, then you really got to leverage and say, how could I both run these two without discounting the productivity of my baby or this. Eventually people get sucked up to money. I'll say this again, people get tempted to money eventually. If your startup, let's say your startup has not been generating money and you see your other business has been generating like cash cow, what will you do? I like, screw the startup, I'll do this since this is generating money. Then you kind of lost your focus of, hey, wait a minute, my initial point of starting off was a startup, but then I do a side project to fund my startup, but now I'm closing down my startup to do my side project. What you want to achieve in your life? It's eventually the question. That would happen. High chance it would happen. Quote you example, what? All of us know very well what. Okay? Kiskus was pretty much in that exact situation. But Kiskus make the right move by shutting down their outsource right now and focusing on their product. Because the founders are strong enough to say that yes, there's money here, it's tempting, but the main reason and the main vision why Kiskus was set up was to build this, not do side project. Let's go back, get back on track and do this. So that will kind of answer your question. It's a matter of what matters to you more, money or really chasing your vision. I mean, a lot of startups fail. A lot of crazy people chase their ideas, and some of them don't even see the light of it. You know, a lot of them burn their bankrupt with multi a few times. Do a kind of quick research. Look at all the successful people out there in the world. They have been bankrupt at least a few times. Their stupid idea has failed at least a few times before they kind of make it. The main driving force is, as long as you don't give up, I think there's always, you know, a chance. I'll share with you. This is my second arm startup. My first one kind of failed because of co-founder mismatch. What there? I burned a lot of money there. What? Did I just stop there and say, nah, not startup is not for me? Or did I just continue to chase my vision and what I believe? So it's what matters to you most. You know, Budi and I shared similar experiences. We don't give up. We just don't freaking give up. I think that's the thing. You can tie us up on the tree, but trust me, our mind will still be working. That's us. So what again, you know, human itself, what's your underlying factor? You know, why do you want to do this? Certain people do social things. Why? What's your driving factor behind it? You know, you want to do a small bit to contribute to change how the world or behaves and how, you know, the environment works around it. You know, or what's really question yourself, what's really keeping you awake every day that you want to do, you know. Understand yourself better, understand things better around you. Try to think a little bit deeper, you would see more things. I mean, things like crazy things like that, it's just stupid idea.
There's one quote that really touched my heart. There's one quote is like, everyone wants a happy life, but you have to choose how you want to suffer or sacrifice. You cannot get all the happy things. If you let's say you want to have too many things to do, right? It means that you have to sacrifice 99 other ideas to do one idea, or you have to sacrifice your side project to do your vision. If not that, if you do everything, then you don't have time to do what you want. So, because you only want a happy life, you want to do everything, and it cannot be happening. Because as a human, we have a limitation of time, constraint of energy, effort, and extra. So that's why. Maybe your sacrifice is money. Maybe your sacrifice is time. Maybe your sacrifice is a loneliness because you are a single founder and you don't have any human resource project. And a lot of things to sacrifice. But if you have a great vision, you have something to achieve, it becomes like a sand in the beach. It doesn't matter at all. Yes, the sacrifice. I think that's what I can share.
Any other questions? Or you guys are just too stoked?
Bro, can you share me one big your idea, except the regenerator last night? Your big idea.
You see, okay, I can give you my ideas, but the game itself, trust me, when the idea comes out from your brain itself, the magic moment is like, oh shit, It's really that you actually taking somebody else's idea. Trust me. The feeling it's money cannot buy. You got to experience it yourself. It's like holy shit. I think this will never work. It's that feeling that you need to go through a few times. Then you start seeing yourself doing this almost on a daily basis. Holy shit, I found something. and you get into the momentum, trust me. By you going into that cycle, you will see things much faster and see opportunities much faster. A lot of people see problems and they kind of run away from it. You see problems and you kind of tackle it and hit, you bang on it. Trust me, what you discover is what we call opportunities. That's where you fill the gap. You know, I can give you ideas, but my question mark is, can you execute?
No, just share it, bro. Just share it.
I don't have to sell it, I can give it to you. It's a question mark of, you see, ideas are cheap. Ideas are damn cheap.
Yeah, cheap. Share it,
But
bro.
can you execute it? I give you one idea. This one came out recently. You know Magic? Have you guys heard of Magic? The freaking app that you freaking message and then they can get you everything in the States. Do that for travel. Do that shit for travel.
Things like what? Service.
Oh,
It's a personal concierge. Yeah. Do that for travel.
yeah.
Magic is like an app that we can order anything.
You can ask them any question, you can order anything,
Free.
and they charge you a small service fee. So you can be, it's basically an app for lazy people. It's basically an operator that's the other side. It's like, hey, can you help me order Spinelli's pizza or Spinelli order a Pizza Hut pizza medium size and deliver it to my address at Jalan Kalimantan 136A. And these guys will reply to you in the app and say, yeah, done. Can I have a credit card number to charge it to? I'll charge you a service fee of 2%. Then after that, it's like, hey, can you also go to Kroger and buy me a bottle of beer? They will do that for you with a small fee. It's a full-on concierge service. I mean, it's one of the stupidest things, but freaking people suck to do it, man.
It can do.
You need to solve out the logistics problem here in Indonesia.
It can.
Okay? Cool.
One more. I read a book. The title is Making Idea Happen. The book tells that to make idea happen, the first is to be organized. You should, if you get idea, you should write it down like you said before. But I think it's not enough to be organized and how to make idea happen and get motivated.
Burn your ship down.
So your question is
Burn
how
your ship.
Burn your
your question is how do you get more organized with your ideas as well as what? What's the second question?
Is there any
How to get motivated?
How to get
motivated?
I think first thing first is let's tackle the second problem. If you're not motivated, forget about it. Correct. You need somebody to motivate you with your idea. I think if you can totally trash your idea itself, means you're not really into it. Okay? The second question is how do you get organized with your idea itself? I think it's a way of seeing things. I don't say getting organized or disorganized is good or bad. Seriously. I mean, look at the both of us. I'm pretty much more disorganized than Goody. Look at my table.
Very different.
Okay? So the question is, even though as disorganized as I am on my table, I know what's on my fucking table and I know where to find it. If you put me in a room, trust me, with nothing at all, the whole wall will be filled out with drawings. How am I going to find it? You know, it's yeah, you lose a bit of time, but eventually you've done it before, it will be kept somewhere in your subconscious mind. It's just finding it somewhere. You know, my files in my freaking laptop, sometimes I got problem locating shit, you know. That's how messy I am. You can look at my desktop itself, I can show you, it's like so many folders, blah 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 blah. Because for me itself, I would say pretty much when I think, I go at a crazy speed, which sometimes is so fast that I just capture things and download, boom pa. Then it's again trying to force yourself, if you do not have any job task that day itself that's so important and you kind of finish your task early, then make it a habit to kind of clean up and reorganize it again. You know, I work like that. I will mess things up, okay, and then I get shit, mess things, but end of the day, when I have the time, I put it back again. Then you see the next day, I'll mess up again. I'm like that. So it's no right hard and fast rule of how you work. It's really what are you more preferred. I give you an example. I love sitting over here to work in a room, but where I really prefer, right, is to actually sit down outside because I can freaking smoke. And when I don't get off from my seat, when I can put myself in such an environment that on my left I have a coffee that's always going free flow. On my right, I have a cigarette that's always and actually always burning there. Trust me, I can sit there for 10 hours without even getting up for more than 5 minutes. Get up to go toilet, come back, I'll sit down, I have my meal there. That's how I operate. So it's again, what works best for you?
If I need girls, you need girls beside him. to work. Something to look at girls.
Any other questions about big ideas?
You open my secret, bro.
Cool. Where do you guys save your deck? I can put it up there.
Oh yeah. I think the camera should be in the video.
It is not running.
I don't know.
It just
Not
perspective.
So nice.
Oh, next week, yeah. So you have to choose one. I think.
Who has spoken already? Who has not?
So right now the sequence is 2 from the grips, 2 from the grip, 2 the grips, 2 the grip, 2 the grips, 2 the grips.
So now is what?
2. So okay, now the grip.
That great.
Robi,
Suko or
Galang,
Suka. Me?
You?
Galang.
this is Galang, Robi.
Fake Robbie. Then you have to, next week's talk will be why am I fake?
This is his member. Indonesia 1, Indonesia 1.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I think seriously, my advice is really can think about what I said today. Try to unlock it. You know, don't try to associate things quickly. If you guys want to do a Google itself, then look at books that are philosophy. So how we think today and how we associate things today relates back in time. How people have kind of derived. Then you find the true origins and the roots. Why is this A? Why is this B? It's just like telling you that, you know, when we came to this world, we are naked. Why must we wear clothes? Kind of thing. You know, things have evolved throughout time. You know, but sometimes things evolve so fast that it lost the true meaning behind it. Clothes was just meant to keep us warm. It became a fashion.